Here are the top stories for today, the 28th of March, 2022. The country will see another round of oil price hike. Diesel and gasoline prices will increase by 8 pesos and 3 pesos, respectively, as global oil prices stay volatile due to various events. And it's day one of the free rides at the MRT-3 as the rail line celebrates its completion of its rehabilitation, benefiting close to 400,000 commuters daily. The government is keeping a close watch on the restive Taal volcano. Nearly 4,000 persons have so far been affected by its unrest. And President Rodrigo Duterte celebrates his 77th birthday today. We tell you what some Filipinos have to say about the chief executive on his special day. Good day, I am William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. After just a week of reprieve, another burden is on the way for motorists as they brace for more expensive fuel. Effective Tuesday, pump prices will go up again, with diesel and kerosene rising by 8 pesos per liter and gasoline by 3 pesos per liter. The Energy Department says oil prices will stay volatile due to instability in pricing in the global market driven by various factors. In a radio interview, DOE Oil Industry Management Bureau Director Rino Abad says these include the continuing Russia-Ukraine conflict, which has impacted global trade as the European Union is looking at banning Russian crude. This also came as Houthi rebels staged an attack on Saudi oil storage facilities over the weekend, adding pressure to the already jittery market. Considering the situation, Abad says the prices of refined crude products such as cooking gas may also see an uptick. Commuters are in for a treat starting this Monday as the MRT began offering free rides. This will run until April 30 as the rail line celebrates the completion of its rehabilitation. This morning, long queues of commuters were seen at the line's North Avenue station in Quezon City. MRT officer in charge, Engineer Michael Capati, says the free rides is an opportunity to showcase the rail line service improvement, which is seen to benefit close to 400,000 commuters on a daily basis. 4-car trains will also be deployed to accommodate more passengers. Health and safety protocols also remain in place to prevent the spread of COVID-19 at the rail line. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, said they will wait for the findings of the National Bureau of Investigation to determine if there was a security breach or hacking in their system. COMELEC Commissioner George Garcia says the COMELEC will thoroughly review and compare the findings of the NBI and the report of Smartmatic.
Ginagarantiya po namin sa inyo na kung may nangyari man na sinasabing data breach, kung yan may katotohanan, siyempre po hindi kami papayag na malaman may effect ba yan sa amin. Number one. Number two, sino ba mga involved na tao? Baka naman hindi lamang sa kanila yung may na-involved, baka sa COMELEC may na-involved. Number three, ano pa talaga na-compromise na data kung meron man? May effect ba yan sa ating pag-hold ng halalan? May effect ba yan sa ating sistema? Yan po hindi kami papayag na hindi natin malalaman. Ilalahad po natin lahat yan sa ating mga kababayan. Magiging, sabi nga ni Chairman at ng pamunuan po ng Komisyon, magiging transparent and accountable.
The Commission on Elections urges its regional and provincial election officers to submit a list of erring candidates in their areas. In a Laging Handa briefing this morning, COMELEC Commissioner George Erwin Garcia says among the violations include premature campaigning as well as failure to implement the minimum health protocols. Meanwhile, Garcia said they will still continue taking down illegally placed campaign materials in areas outside of the approved poster areas. He says that while COMELEC is respecting tarpaulins placed in private properties, the permission of the owners must be secured.
Yusek, pinapaalala po natin sa ating mga kababayang politiko, mga partido politikal, bawal pa rin po ang hugging, kissing, arm-to-arm at any physical contact with our voters or our constituents. At the same time, bawal po selfie at kung sakali pong kayo naiimbitahan ng mga botante natin, yung mga may-ari ng bahay na pumasok, makipagkape, pinagbabawal din po natin yan dahil sa iniiwasan po natin na yung mga kanila ay maging super spreader pa o yung event nyo ay maging isang super spread event. Tatandaan po natin, kahit nangangampanya, may pandemya pa rin.
Meanwhile, the team of presidential aspirants Leni Robredo and Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. are working double time to reach out to more voters. In Taguig, supporters of Vice President Leni Robredo opted to move to a larger venue for their upcoming Liwanag sa Taguig People's Rally. The Robredo People's Council chapters in Makati and Taguig Pateros said there is no final date yet for the sortie. The event, which was originally set on the 30th of April, is said to coincide with GMA Network's face-off among the presidential aspirants. Meanwhile, the campaign sortie of presidential candidate Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. in Bukidnon is slated on March 31. The Bukidnon Police Provincial Office assures it will be on full alert to provide intensive security for the upcoming Grand Rally. The upcoming event is said to be the first Grand Rally of Uniteam in the northern Mindanao region. And in other news, the government is keeping a close watch on the restive Taal volcano following the raising of Alert Level 3 over the weekend. 3 short explosions were recorded from the volcano this morning with no volcanic earthquakes detected. Some 3,850 persons have been affected by Taal's unrest, 3,460 of whom are staying in evacuation centers. According to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, as of Monday morning, over 1,700 police officers have also been deployed to prevent looting incidents in houses left by evacuees. Under close watch are the towns of Agoncillo, Laurel, Balete, Talisay, and Cuenca. Food and water remain as the most essential relief items needed by the evacuees. The Batangas PDRRMO says fisher folk have been given window hours and should log with law enforcers before they tend to their fish cages at the Taal Lake. Still to come, it is the start of something new for 16 more beneficiaries of Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program. And no Filipino has been hurt in the latest attack on Saudi oil facilities by Houthi rebels. Details ahead. Keep it here on the PNA Newsroom.
Hi everyone, James Deacon here. The COVID-19 vaccines are finally here, and the government wants to make sure the vaccines reach us. So let's do our part by making sure that we get registered to be included in the vaccination list of our LGU. You can register right in the comfort and safety of your own homes through your LGU's online registration platform. And you can also register on-site in the vaccination venues or through your barangay. Remember, getting vaccinated is the first step towards ending this pandemic. So let's do our part as disciplined citizens. Bida ang may disiplina. Magpakarehistro at magpabakuna para sa ligtas na pamilya, ligtas na bayan.
Rehabilitation efforts in the war-torn Marawi City serve as a template for good governance and pursuit of lasting peace. This is stated by Task Force Bangon Marawi and Housing Czar Eduardo Del Rosario, noting that the city is already close to finally getting back on its feet. He attributed the progress in Marawi to the effective cooperation among implementing agencies, Marawi local government unit, and the private sector, non-governmental organizations, and civil society partners. He said all physical infrastructure projects and social healing programs for Maranaos will be almost completed before President Rodrigo Duterte steps down on the 30th of June. He also assures that all permanent relocation sites in subdivision-like communities will be finished before Duterte's term ends. The president earlier commended the TFBM and its 56 implementing agencies for a job well done in rehabilitating the city of Marawi. 16 beneficiaries qualified for the national government program Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa, or BP2. The beneficiaries arrived at the BP2 depot on Monday full of hope for a better life as soon as they return to their home province. The latest batch of BP2 beneficiaries are bound for northern Samar and are scheduled to depart Manila on Tuesday. The said beneficiaries are required to arrive at the BP2 depot 1 day ahead of their departure schedule to undergo dispatch procedures that include the COVID-19 swab tests. With a negative swab test result, they will undergo verification and evaluation by the National Housing Authority and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. They will also undergo a medical assessment by the Department of Health. Among the medical interventions given by the DOH include the provision of free medicine and vitamins according to Undersecretary Shareid Mercado Grande. They also provide wheelchairs, canes, crutches, and walkers to beneficiaries if needed. The DOH has already extended medical services to some 557 individuals who recently returned to Leyte, Davao del Norte, Isabela, Camarines Sur, Apayao, Agusan del Sur, Dinagat Islands, Cebu, Bohol, Negros Oriental, La Union, Ilocos Sur, Iloilo, and Zamboanga del Norte through the BP2 program. In May 2021, President Rodrigo Duterte signed Executive Order Number 114 institutionalizing the Balik Probinsya Bagong Pag-asa program. The program primarily aims to address overcrowding in Metro Manila's urban areas and assist informal settlers to go back to their home provinces with a fresh start. Local candidates in Marawi City and the province of Lanao del Sur vowed to help ensure a peaceful, clean, and orderly elections come May 9. Claire Gighe files this report.
In line with the mission to secure free, safe, and credible national elections on May 9 this year, local candidates in Marawi City and the province of Lanao del Sur signed the Bangsamoro region's first ever covenant to commit their involvement, especially in the kick-off of the campaign for peaceful voting. Such a move was frontlined by the Commission on Elections or COMELEC, Armed Forces of the Philippines or AFP, and the Philippine National Police or PNP to extend the same goal to political bets here. COMELEC chairperson Saidaman Balk Pangarungan underscored that they will be able to convey how determined they are to live out the mandate of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, which is to hold just elections.
That is my marching order to ensure an honest, orderly, and peaceful election. I will never allow anyone to undermine the people's confidence in the forthcoming May 9th election. I am here to protect every single vote of any presidential candidate in this forthcoming election.
With the successful spearheading of the initiative, Police Lieutenant General Jose Chiquito Malayo commended the effort of the candidates who allotted time to partake in the endeavor. He further assured that their people will be apolitical and neutral and will maintain peace during the elections through enforcing the law and running against private armed groups so that people may freely cast their vote. Meanwhile, AFP Chief of Staff General unrest reaffirmed the commitment of the AFP in taking their responsibilities, vowing that they will remain impartial towards this year's national and local elections with all their resources employed. Additionally, he urged candidates to strictly adhere to the law as they aspire in their respective bids.
I implore all political candidates here in the province of Lanao del Sur and the region to respectfully abide with the local premises of the election campaign, and especially during the actual voting. Sama-sama natin isulong ang tunay na diwa at puso ng isang tunay na Pilipino na may masidhing pagmamahal sa ating bansa.
Currently, the COMELEC is yet to release the number and names of particular places which are considered election hotspots. For PNA Newsroom, Claire Gighe of the Philippine Information Agency, Lanao del Sur.
The Philippine Embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia reports that no Filipino nationals have been affected in the attacks in Jeddah on March 20 and 25. The embassy urged Filipinos to contact them or Consulate General's office in case of an emergency. It also condemned the attacks and called to stop violence against civilians. Saudi Aramco's bulk plant in Jeddah was reportedly targeted by Iran-backed Houthi militia. Following the attack, the fire erupted in tanks in the oil facility. A state-run social insurance office was also hit. The Houthi group later announced a truce and the possibility of a permanent ceasefire and asked the Saudi-led coalition to end its operation against Yemen in exchange. The Department of Labor and Employment has launched a mobile service of the Philippine Overseas Labor Office to help migrant Filipino workers in Al-Khobar and other areas in the east of Saudi Arabia. Al-Khobar Labor Attaché Hector Cruz Jr. said the Polo on Wheels will provide consular, welfare, and documentary needs of Filipino workers. Cruz said instead of traveling for about 400 kilometers to Riyadh, the Polo can now attend to the needs of Filipinos in the eastern region. Cruz said the Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs also authorized the Polo to maintain a shelter to house distressed workers and those awaiting repatriation. Polo records show there are about 230,000 Filipinos in the eastern region of the kingdom, with around 215,000 documented workers, their dependents, and some migrants. They mostly work in oil exploration and drilling, while some are in service-oriented sectors such as cafes and restaurants and in the maintenance services sector. Up next, the Philippine Coast Guard reports another infraction of its Chinese counterpart at the Bajo de Masinloc. And the chief executive marks his 77th birthday, with some Filipinos having nothing but praises for him. And we're back after a quick break. Stay with the PNA Newsroom.
Paolo Medjones po para sa kampanyang Disiplina Muna na pinangungunahan ng DILG. Bakit ba kailangan magparehistro sa pagpapabakuna laban sa COVID-19? Mahalaga magparehistro dahil ito ang unang step sa pagpapabakuna laban sa COVID-19. May 3 pamamaraan upang makapagrehistro ang isang Pilipino na nais mabakunahan. Una, ang online registration sa inyong local government unit o LGU. Pangalawa, ang pagpunta sa mga vaccination centers at pagkuha ng registration form. At pakikipag-ugnayan sa mga pinuno ng barangay o sa mga barangay health center. Tandaan, online, sa mga vaccination site o sa mga barangay health centers ang pagpaparehistro sa pagpapabakuna kontra COVID-19. Muli ako po si Paolo Medjones, Disiplina Muna Ambassador na nagpapaalala, huwag matakot magpabakuna. Bida ang may disiplina. Magparehistro at magpabakuna para ligtas ang pamilya, ligtas ang bayan. Disiplinadong Pilipino ay rehistrado para maging bakunado.
The Philippine Coast Guard has reported another close-distance maneuvering incident involving a China Coast Guard vessel in Bajo de Masinloc on March 2nd. A CCG vessel with bow number 3305 conducted close-distance maneuvering about 21 yards towards the PCG ship BRP Malabrigo while it was sailing off Bajo de Masinloc. This constrained the maneuvering space of BRP Malabrigo, a clear violation of the 1972 international regulations for preventing collisions at sea. PCG Commandant Admiral Artemio Abu said this was the 4th incident when a Chinese vessel threatened a collision in Bajo de Masinloc since May 2021. Abu said the Coast Guard immediately coordinated with the National Task Force for the West Philippine Sea and the Department of Foreign Affairs to address this issue lawfully and peacefully. Government troops seized the New People's Army hideout in Negros Occidental and killed 2 NPA rebels in a separate clash over the weekend. The two NPA rebels were killed in an encounter with troops of the Army's 94th Infantry Battalion in Himalayan City on Saturday afternoon. The battalion clashed over the rebels 3 times over the weekend, leading to the fall of the NPA hideout in Sitio Malikuliko, Barangay Carabalan. The government troops seized a .45 caliber pistol, assorted ammunition, bomb-making materials, personal effects documents, and 2 sachets of suspected shabu. Battalion Commander Lieutenant Colonel Van Donald Almonte acknowledged the cooperation of the locals in providing information on the rebels' hideout as well as their extortion activities in the community. In sports, the Philippine beach volleyball teams hauled 5 medals at the recently concluded 2022 Australia Beach Volleyball Tour Championships in Brisbane. Sandcourt ace Jovelyn Gonzaga and Deej Rodriguez went for the gold in the Women's Challenger Division 1 final. Ranran Abadilla and Jaron Requinton also won the gold medal in the Men's Challenger Division 1. Cici Rondina and Bernadette Pons bagged the silver in the final of the women's elite group. Nene Bautista and Jen S. Lapor clinched the bronze in Women's Challenger Division 1. Pemi Bagalay and James Buitrago also took a bronze in the Men's Challenger Division 1. The 6th Philippine pair, Jude Garcia and Krung Arbasto, reached the Men's Challenger Division 1 quarterfinals. The beach volleyball squads are training in Brisbane for their campaign in the May 12 to 23 Vietnam Sea Games. Nayong Filipino has announced plans to transform its 9.5-hectare property into an urban green space within the entertainment city in Parañaque City. The Nayong Filipino Foundation, or NPF, organized a tree planting activity on Friday to coincide with the celebration of National Women's Month. Participants planted seedlings of Palawan cherry and bolong eta to honor women. In a speech, NPF Executive Director Gertie Duran Batocabe emphasized that creating more green spaces should be part of the new normal. A series of planting activities will commence under a development project called Project Sambayanihan. With these efforts, Batocabe is confident that Nayong Filipino will once again be open to the public. Last year, the NPF hosted the Interagency Task Force Quarantine Facility and a mega vaccination facility to support the national government's COVID-19 pandemic response. Consequently, President Rodrigo Duterte is celebrating his 77th birthday today. Apart from sending him warm greetings on his special day, many Filipinos are thankful for his service and wished him well a few months before he leaves his office. We here at the Philippine News Agency also wish our president a very, very happy birthday. Let's look at this.
Common people have expressed satisfaction with the performance of President Rodrigo Duterte for the past 6 years as they greet the president on his birthday and wish him good health. The Philippine News Agency interviewed vendors, commuters, security guards, and construction workers, among others, who said that they felt the changes brought about by the Duterte administration. Vicente Rosete, 48 years old and a resident of Tandangsora in Quezon City, said that as a security guard, he felt the changes when their salary was adjusted.
Malaki talagang naitulong ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa aming mga security guard dahil naging minimum na talaga. Kasi dati may mga security agency na hindi minimum. Pero dahil sa kanya, in-encourage niya yung mga security agency na ang pataasin rin o idagdagan ang sweldo ng mga gwardya. Kaya malaki ang tulong niya.
Rosete said that Duterte is the perfect president for him. He expressed admiration for the Build, Build, Build program of the president with the construction of many projects such as the skyways. He said that the full effect of the program may not yet be felt by many at this time as most of the projects are still underway, but he believes that many will appreciate them once they are completed.
Sa akin siguro, mga 99% o 99.5% ma'am. talagang approve talaga siya. Napaganda niya, napaganda. Kaya kung tutusin nga, kulang pa eh. Kulang pang 6 years niya na panunungkulan sa gobyerno eh. Nasa batas kasi natin na 6 years lang talaga. Pero pwede pa naman siya mag-serve siguro sa atin kahit wala na siya sa iba na lang. Kaya tutukan niya yung problema. Una-una sa korupsyon talaga, grabe.
51 years old construction worker and painter Alexander Sata said that the president was challenged by so many problems and adversities in the country. That includes the COVID-19 pandemic. He said that for him, the president was able to handle the pandemic situation of the country very well.
Hindi talagang mararamdaman mo kasi sa hirap ni Presidente Duterte sa presidente. Yung lahat ng problema, yung dumating yung pandemic, di ba? Lahat ng ayuda ng tao sa kanya lang galing. Mabait siya, okay. Hindi siya nakakalimutan sa mga kababayan natin Pilipino. Magaling na presidente.
For now, Sata said that he is still undecided on who to vote for the coming presidential election. Vilma Gandarino, 55 years old, working as a vendor, is thankful for the assistance given them, especially during the pandemic.
Maganda naman ang ni Pangulong Duterte yung pagpamalakad niya dito sa ating bansa. Malaki rin na itulong niya lalo nang may pandemic. Nakatanggap tayo lahat ng tulong niya. Malaking tulong po yung natanggap namin mula sa kanya, sa gobyerno. Kagaya ng mga ayuda. Malaki na rin po yun, mahalaga na rin po yun sa amin.
Danilo Santi, 54 years old and who has been teaching for the past 26 years, said that they were waiting for the salary increase. However, he also expressed gratitude for the Salary Standardization Law or the SSL signed by President Duterte in 2020. The SSL or the Republic Act 111466 modified the salary schedule for civilian government personnel, granting additional benefits to government employees, including public school teachers. Santi believes that the government was able to help public school teachers as many things have happened for the past 2 years of the COVID-19 pandemic that pushed the educational system into a blended learning system.
Mahusay, umunlad ang Pilipinas, na iba yung kalakaran, tapos pagtunan ng pansin, malaking problema ng bawat departamento. So umunlad talaga ang bansa pagiging Pangulo ni Pangulong Duterte.
Meanwhile, Gov't Kabile, Dolores Liquido, and Albert said that they are more at peace walking in the streets even deep in the night as they believe that the anti-illegal drugs program of the Duterte administration was a success.
Hindi ako natatakot na lumabas sa ating gabi. Baga sana dati pag lalabas ka ng mga alas 6 ng gabi hanggang takot ka dahil maraming hindi mo alam kung sinong lalapit sa'yo. Hindi katulad ngayon na kahit paano nakakalabas ka ng gabi, may bibiling ka na wala kang katakutan.
Today, President Duterte is celebrating his 77th birthday as his administration ends in May of this year. These common people who believed in the president expressed their greeting for the president.
Binabati kita, mahal na Pangulo, sa iyong kaarawan. Sana po ay dagdagan pa o pahabain pa yung buhay para makatulong ka pa rin sa mga Pilipino. Maraming salamat po, mahal na Pangulo.
Presidente, happy birthday po. Maraming salamat po sa biyayang binigay niyo sa amin.
Happy birthday talaga kay Pangulo, kay Pangulong Duterte. Saka God bless talaga sa kanya.
Sa ngayon, dahil ito na kanyang huling termino rin, sana maging malusog ang kanyang pangatawan at maligayang bati sa kanyang kaarawan.
Happy birthday po, Bossing Digong, Presidente.
Mula sa Balik Probinsya, bago sa program, happy birthday, Pangulong Duterte!
For the PNA Newsroom, I am Marita Muaje.
Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. The country will see another round of oil price hike. Diesel and gasoline prices will increase by 8 pesos and 3 pesos respectively as global oil prices stay volatile due to various events. And it's day one of the free rides at the MRT3 as the rail line celebrates its completion of its rehabilitation, benefiting close to 400,000 commuters daily. The government is keeping a close watch on the restive Taal volcano. Nearly 4,000 persons have so far been affected by its unrest. And President Rodrigo Duterte celebrates his 77th birthday today. We tell you what some Filipinos have to say about the chief executive on his special day. As Filipinos, we all have a vital role to play in preventing the spread of COVID-19. So remember, wear your face masks and face shields, wash your hands often, practice safe physical distancing, go out only for essential reasons, and get vaccinated as soon as possible to protect ourselves, our families, and the community. Together, we can beat COVID-19. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. For more news content, check our webpage or log on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also, watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And from all of us at the PNA Newsroom, we would like to greet our president a very happy 77th birthday. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, we tell stories that inspire change. I am William Theo. Good day. Happy Monday, everyone.